Are you ready?
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 Are you ready to forget your family and your job? World Cup, oh, oh. Football round the clock, football round the clock, football round the clock. World Cup, oh, oh. Football round the clock, oh, oh, oh.
Strongest of them all.
Hello and welcome to Football Around the Clock. I am your host, Derek Powell. Today I have Charles Powell again with me live. I have Ray Powell with me and David Kramer. How are you guys doing today?
Hello. Doing great.
Yep, doing fantastic.
Ready to get going.
Ready to talk about some crazy quarterfinals?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get into it. First quarterfinal game we're going to talk about today is Uruguay versus France. France beating Uruguay 2-0. David, you already got some expressions on your face. You want to comment on this?
Yeah. First of all, you got to give credit to France, but also Uruguay was unfortunate without Cavani. I think if Cavani had been there, it would have been a totally different game. So I got to give, first of all, anyone that's gotten this far, congrats. So let me say that. But it hurts me that Uruguay lost. I think that if they had Cavani, they would have beaten France. And France has been one of the teams of the tournament, so that's saying something. They're one of the traditional powers.
Yeah. Do you think they're like Cavani definitely had an impact on Uruguay's performance?
Yeah, I think without Cavani, it was a totally different game plan. They had Stuani a little, who was just not as fast as Cavani. He's not as hard of a worker, and he doesn't create the chances that Cavani does, nor take them. So there was a cross where I think Cáceres did a header, and Lloris made an incredible save, and Godin came up and almost put it away. And I think that having two poachers like Cavani and Suarez would have just made, that would have been a chance that went in. And there were a couple others like that as well. So I don't want to take anything away from France. I do want to take a little bit away. I think they got lucky with one of the goals. Well, it was a fantastic header, the glancing header. Mm-hmm. And then that was a great header. But then the goal where Muslera just kind of palmed it, like that was just him being stupid, and that put the game away. And Uruguay didn't have a chance to come back after that. So it just hurts me because I think Uruguay could have taken the tournament if Cavani was healthy. So totally different team without Cavani.
Yeah, comments on this game, Ray?
Yeah, I'll just agree with David. I think Cavani not being in there definitely hindered Uruguay's ability to attack and go forward. That header by Cáceres, I thought that was the changing point in the game because that was right before halftime. So if that had gone in, 1-1 at halftime, and maybe the game would have ended up different. But I think France was fortunate by that Muslera mess up, and Uruguay just didn't have enough firepower up front without Cavani to get themselves back into the game. So Uruguay's defense played great as usual. They took that free kick that France did, that Varane scored, a little quick. I think they took, even though it was set up, it was kind of quick, and I think the run from Varane caught him off guard. Fantastic header. Yep, unfortunate for Uruguay. France took advantage, and they're into the semis.
Yeah, I look at these games as you can't go by the former games on how a team looks. Each team's a different team and how you go at it. I mean, we'll talk about Belgium and Brazil here in a minute, but without Cavani, Uruguay might have been the better team, might have been the difference to make it, but that's the way things go. They seemed to dominate the first 20 minutes or half hour, but then it seemed like slowly, to me, it seemed like slowly France started to take over. They didn't, like you said, they didn't have many chances, but as far as possession and stuff, they started to take over. And after that, especially after the second goal, it looked like Uruguay they knew they were done after that second goal. To me, anyway.
Well, they had that.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, people were criticizing Jimenez. He was they were setting up for a wall for a France free kick, and the camera showed that he was like crying as they're like setting up for the wall. This is still like in the middle of the game when they just went down 2-0.
I remember.
So you gotta feel for that.
And it showed in this World Cup, especially every South American team, even though it seems like they all fell short. I mean, that's the way South Americans are. They're passionate, not just in football, but in life. They're passionate, and that's just the way they are. There's no criticism on my part for them. I think I think he kind of realized. There was some minutes to fight, but I think they kind of realized, and that's just him. I don't think there's any fault. Kudos to France. They did what they had to do, but Uruguay had a great tournament, and they could have gone farther, like you were saying, if Cavani was in there. So
kudos to Uruguay coming this far, like David said, and congrats to France for making it on to the semis, which they will face
an upcoming team we'll talk about.
The next team we're talking about, who is Belgium. France will face Belgium in the next semifinals, who Belgium beat Brazil 2-1 in their last quarterfinal. Let's just go around the clock for this one. Ray, thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I mean, Belgium finally broke through. They were able to beat a bigger team. Those those first 15 minutes, though, when Brazil was just bombarding them, I thought, oh man, here we go. It's, Belgium's going to break down again, but they were able to stick through that. And as we've seen with, kind of what we've mentioned in previous podcasts, the theme in the tournament is Belgium had an excellent counterattack, and that's how they got their 2 goals. And Brazil had 26 attempts to Belgium's 8. And we're just knocking on the doorstep the whole game, but Belgium made it very, very tough for them to put one in. Martinez, he made some changes. Instead of a back 3, he went to a back 4. So I think that helped a bit defensively. And, just excellent on the counter. So it was a really exciting game to watch, just kind of up and down. And Belgium could have put even a few more in because Brazil was pressing so much, especially after Belgium had 2 goals. So, I thought a superb performance by Belgium.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you on that. And again, another big team changing tactics in the middle of the World Cup. They kind of got away from the possession ball, again, went to that counterattacking defense and then counter-attacking style ball, and it worked in beating another big team. So kudos to them, just like what France did in the round of 16. They switched over to counter-attacking, and that's how they moved on to the quarterfinals. But kudos to them. It looked pretty even in my opinion for a while. It looked like Brazil, like you said, they were pounding the whole time. They had their chances, just couldn't get one in. And then I think as soon as Belgium got that goal, I think they knew they had the game won. They didn't stop this time. They kept pressing, even at the end when it was 2-0. Brazil was pounding and pounding and pounding, trying to come back. They had most of the possession. They got one goal back, but it was too late by that time. And Belgium proved that they're for real this time. So we'll see how they do against France in the semis. And it kind of showed in Brazil's defense. I mean, Marcelo got burned a few times on that side. So we'll see what happens in the next round. But I'm just glad. I mean, no offense to Brazil. I love watching Brazil. They have talented players. But at least we don't have the Neymar show anymore in the World Cup. He keeps rolling and rolling and rolling. So I'm glad that's over with.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you guys. I was watching just the highlights, and Lukaku's speed is just insane. Like, there's one breakaway he had from probably between midfield and 18 on his half where he picked it up, and he just went and took on 4 defenders, and his speed is like really fast, and then that led to the De Bruyne goal, which is nuts.
What Martinez did, he went to front 3 with De Bruyne, Lukaku, and Hazard, and they were, all kind of cocked and then come in the middle and just kind of all free flowing up their counter attack. I'm going to look to the next round. They Munir, the right wing back that Belgium's been using, he's going to miss the next game because of the yellow card thing. So yeah, it'll be interesting. He gets up and down on that right side really well too. So that'll be interesting if Martinez goes back to a back 3, which I think can be, I guess, bad for them defensively against France. But yeah, we'll see. I also just wanted to say, like, there was another own goal, Belgium's first goal. It was an own goal, and it was off a set piece. And that's one of the most common themes that have happened in this World Cup too, where 3 things. You got set piece goals. There's so many set piece goals in this World Cup. Corners, free kicks, PKs. And there's been so many. So, just that fine line. In these matchups. So,
yeah, just a quick stat on that. I saw that there was 25 corner kick goals in this World Cup, the most ever in a World Cup. So,
and there's a record for PK goals too, most ever. So, it's not a lot of stuff in open play.
And of keeping. No team or player is bigger than the game. So I'm a fan of the game comes first. And if we have to knuckle down and we're going to plethora of PKs, so be it. That'll only last a while before the players start realizing, okay, I can't do that, and then they'll stop. So kudos to them for doing that.
All right, let's move on to the next game of being Sweden versus England. England coming up top of Sweden 2-0. Advancing to the semis. Let's go around the clock again. Ray, seen wearing the England jersey. How do you think England did in this game?
Team left. I thought coming home was their best. I think they've grown as the tournament has gone along, and I think this was their best game that they've played in the whole tournament so far. I know they beat Panama 6-1, but that was Panama, and I think, 2 of their goals was PKs and 1 was a own goal or something like that. So, like we just talked about, a set piece, and it wasn't Harry Kane this time. MAGUIRE coming off of a corner, and I think that completely opened up the game because Sweden had to come out of their element. And England's just been able to, write off the past performances of other English teams and play very free-flowing and, exciting, entertaining. And I think, they dominated this game. Pickford had an awesome save in this game. Pretty much Sweden's best chance of the game, really. They didn't have too much. And I just thought awesome performance by England.
Yeah, go ahead, Charles.
Yeah, seemed like Sweden finally met their match. I mean, Sweden got through this tournament on total defense and countering when they could and getting productivity out of that. But England's, midfield and defense, I think, were too good. Sweden just played too much defense in this game, and it was all England possession. goals, corner, everything. It was England's game. I think Sweden was just outmatched finally. But kudos to Sweden for getting this far. Nobody expected them to even get out of their group, and they made it to the quarterfinals. So kudos to them. But yeah, this was England's best game by far, and the next match will be a pretty good match, I think.
About Sterling being one of the game changers, and he really was in this game. I was kind of worried going into it, because Sweden was going to sit back and thought England's speed and stuff wasn't going to be able to do anything or give them an advantage because Sweden was going to be so far back. But Sterling he was incredible. He made awesome runs to open things up, to open up that Swedish back line. And although he had like 2 one-on-ones and failed on both of them, he's never going to be the great speed just up such for England. And Southgate, he doesn't Sterling doesn't produce the goal scoring. He's been able to really affect and open up defenses for England to create chances.
Yeah, I would agree that England looked really, really good in this game. I don't know. There's that one chance by Sterling. If I think he was like a foot taller, like Rashford, he would have scored. Where it put over the top. He made that run, and then he had a couple bad touches and ended up being out of nothing. But yeah, I'll agree with you, Raymond. I'm warming up to him a little bit. I still think Rashford should start though. All right, so let's go to the last quarterfinal game, being Russia versus Croatia. And Croatia winning over Russia 4. So let's go around the clock again. And Ray, thoughts on this?
Yeah, wow, this was a really exciting game full of ups and downs and drama, and especially with the host nation in it, the atmosphere and everything was incredible in their Cinderella type run, similar to what South Korea, did in 2002. I thought I was disappointed in Croatia, to be honest. I thought they should have controlled things more and, maybe not blown Russia out because just the way Russia's been playing and hardworking and everything, but definitely similar to what we expected Spain to do to Russia, but Russia, just their determination and grit and just played super hard and definitely have everything to be proud of for what they did in this tournament. Going to PKs again for Croatia for a second knockout stage game in a row. I don't think that's going to bode well for them going into the semi. Being able to get through that, Rakitic scoring the last PK again to send Croatia through. So this is tying their best performance like they did in 98, making it to the semis. So it's pretty cool to see that golden generation for Croatia has been able to have success in this tournament.
Yeah, thoughts on this game, Charles?
This was a wild game. I think out of all of them, this is the most wild game. Russia scored first. Cherchev scored, and when it looked like at the beginning of the game, Croatia was dominating, and then all of a sudden, boom, Russia just scored a goal. And then
crazy goal too. Laser top.
It was a laser. It was an awesome goal. And then a few minutes later, Kramaric tied it up 1-1. And that was it until extra time. And then Vida scored. And then again, here comes Russia. When you thought the game was over and Croatia had it, Fernandez scores. Mario Fernandez, and wow! And then another, like Raymond said, another PK. I think what kind of did Russia in is they missed their first PK, and I think that gave Croatia confidence, even though Croatia missed their second PK. But then Russia missed their third PK, and it was done after that. So that was a wild game, and it was a fun one though. I enjoyed that one, and we'll see what happens. Croatia. We'll talk about that in a minute. Croatia, England, but I'm looking forward to that.
All right, sorry about that, guys. We're back. David, you have any comments on Russia and Croatia game?
Yeah. So first of all, I think Croatia was dead tired. So I think that they tired very rapidly. While Russia, I'm not going to say too much, but they did not tire suspiciously. Same thing for the past games. But I do give congrats to Cherishev's goal. I called him out at the beginning of the tournament. I thought he was going to be a difference maker for Russia, and he has been a difference. Then also, I thought that Croatia battled back very bravely. So I'm talking. It's not muted. Can you hear me? Okay. My bad. Anyway, so I want to give congrats to all the goals, and then especially I want to give congrats to the Croatian goalkeeper, because at the end, he got injured. And a lot of people downplay the severity of soccer injuries, but the truth is that he got injured pretty badly, and during the PK shootout, he could barely jump one way or another. So it's quite incredible that he was able to stop any PKs and that Croatia won on PKs, because he shouldn't have been able to do anything. So anyway, good game by Croatia and Russia. I thought it was one of the least exciting of the games, but when one of your teams is so tired, like Croatia was just so tired, I think that they were valiant and they pulled it out, and that's all you can ask for.
Yeah, congrats for Croatia moving on, but like Ray said, 2 games in a row, going both PKs, and it's actually the first time a team in World Cup has done that. That has won 2 penalty kickouts in a row. So yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how they face up against England in the semifinal. Yeah, I'm not sure how it's going to turn out, but I think England's going to come out on top. But go ahead, David.
Interesting statistic about that goalkeeper, the Croatian goalkeeper. He's one of those keepers. Like, there's keepers that you don't want in a PK shootout, and there's keepers you do. He saves for his club just a ridiculously high percentage. And so in the shootout, he's an invaluable asset. I know that, like I said, he was injured, but like even with that, he just kind of knew where a lot of them were going to go. And it was kind of silly of the Russians to shoot so badly, so poorly. But so if it goes to PKs again, if he's injured and he's not playing, then it'll be a great loss for Croatia.
No, I think he'll be able to play. This is the semifinals. They're putting him in.
He can't walk, and he's like, I'm playing.
No, I guarantee you, this is just a bump, and he's playing.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
And we'll see. All right, with that, let's go on to semifinal games. Starting tomorrow, we got France versus Belgium. And then on Wednesday is Croatia versus England. Let's go around clock and get predictions. Ray, prediction for the France-Belgium game?
Oh, gosh. I think this could be one where there's either a lot of goals scored or just neither team will be able to finish well. I don't know. I think it's going to be up and down, super entertaining to watch. I'm going to pick France to come out on top and make it to the final.
Charles, predictions?
These are pretty well evenly matched teams. Both of them have speed. Both of them have great midfields. Both of them have people that can score. I'm going to have to go with France, only because that's who I picked in all 3 of my brackets before the World Cup. I'd like to see Belgium win, because the way this World Cup's going, with all the big boys being knocked out, to me this looks like a World Cup where a newbie is going to be crowned champion. But just because of my brackets, I'm going to stick with France.
That's another thing of like the heart versus the mind. I really like how this is looking. I think France's defensive line looks much stouter than Belgium's. Belgium, we all know that it has its difficulties. there's a couple players on there that are just prone to rash challenges. Company's getting older. He doesn't have the legs. So I think that Axel Witsel in the midfield has actually played really good for them. But I think that if France exerts any pressure, it's going to be rough on Belgium. So I don't want to say this, but I'm going to say like 2-0 or maybe even 3-1 France. I think they're going to win by a comfortable margin. But at the same time, it's a semifinal, so that everyone's going to put their heart and soul into it. So I hope it's just a great game. That's one of the great things about being a neutral. I don't care who wins. Let's just watch it and love it.
Yeah. So for my prediction, I don't know. I'm gonna go with Belgium 2-1 in regulation. With Lukaku getting one at the very end. But I definitely think it's gonna be really close. With a lot of attacking, prowess on both sides. But like you mentioned, Davis, France's back line is really good, so that's why I think it's going to be really close. Let's move on. Second semifinal, got Croatia versus England. Ray, your prediction on this one?
Just keep it short. I think Croatia, after 2 penalty kick games, I think they're gassed. And I think England, just the way things have been going, I think they're going to pull out a set piece or two and be able to defend,
really
control the game. Yeah.
Surprise.
As they've been doing in every game.
You think?
So, I think England will squeak it out. I'm not sure score line, but I think only by a goal. And I think they're also going to win because I don't know. I know Derek saw this, but if others have seen it, the parallels to now in 1966.
Yes, saw that.
Crazy, scary. Off. Yeah, so in 66, when England won their only World Cup, Real Madrid won the European Cup, Man City won the league title, Chelsea finished 5th, Burnley qualified for Europe, and England won the World Cup that year. So, and just with all the upsets and everything happened this year, now things really fell into place for England to make it to this point.
Yeah.
It's pretty humorous. So, I'm gonna go with them to totally unexpectedly make it to the World Cup final.
Your predictions, Charles?
This is hard. Yeah, I kind of agree. Maybe Croatia's gassed, but they're tough. They're fighters. This is a hard prediction for me. I know everybody thinks this is easy. England's going to win, blah, blah, blah. If there's a winner in regulation time, I think it'll be England on a set piece. If it goes to extra time, Croatia's going to win on PKs. How's that for sitting on the fence?
Right on the fence.
Over to you, David.
I wanted to reference something, actually. So I was watching the Russia versus Croatia game, and I was rooting for Croatia super hard. They were up 2-1, and I had it on, and when my buddy comes over, and he's like, you know what's going to happen is Russia's going to put in a beauty cross, and just they're going to put a header right on target, and it's going to go to overtime. Goodness. And right as he said that, there's a beauty cross right in. And gosh, I'm worried for Croatia for that to happen again. So I'm worried that with England and their propensity for set pieces, I think that's going to happen. But I think that with Croatia's incredible talent in the midfield, Modric, and if they bring in Modric and Rakitic, then if they bring in the
Brozovic.
Brozovic. Who was the guy that plays for Real Madrid that's the defensive midfielder? Kovacic. Yeah, I think Kovacic could really make the difference and let Modric and Rakitic kind of just play up a little higher, and that could really just disrupt England. I don't see England as having maybe the and kind of like we were talking about this earlier, they're missing some of the creativity in front of the goal at a couple times, which is why the set pieces were so important. And I think that having that lack of creativity will be rough if they don't get it up to Harry Kane. If they get it up to Harry Kane, then he'll be able to do hold up play magnificently. But otherwise, I think it might be tricky for them to really exploit Croatia's tiredness, because I think they are very tired. But so I'm going to say Croatia. I think in regular time, 1-0.
Yeah, and that is good. What you talked about earlier, that's going to depend on if Subotic plays, their goalkeeper. If he's not in there, like you said, if he is really hurt, then you got to give the edge to England. But if he's in there, like you said, he's a great goalkeeper, and he could be the difference, especially if it goes to extra time or even to PKs.
Yeah.
But it seems like the soccer gods have talking with everything that lined up in the UEFA Champions League and the EPL from 1966 and 2018. So we'll see.
If England wins, I want England to win, but I will never hear the end of it. We'll be hearing about it for the next 8 years.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. For my prediction, I won't agree with Ray. I think Croatia's too gassed of going to having 2 PK shootouts in a row. But I also agree with David. I think there's a lot of talent on Croatia, so I think it's going to be similar to the France and Belgium. My France and Belgium prediction is going to be a really close game, but I think it's going to be 3-1 England. Maybe like the Brazil-Belgium game where there'll be an own goal somewhere, but that's my prediction. Go ahead.
When do you think England's Devils are going to catch up with them? When do you think they're going to finally? I guess my question is more: do you think that they'll catch up with them? Do you think that they'll all of a sudden feel the stress? Because if that ever happens, I think England's going to lose. If they ever just start realizing where they are. So does it take until the final for them to realize that they're at the World Cup?
Probably.
Okay, then they'll probably win, right?
Yeah.
If they don't know where they are.
Yeah, I think Southgate's done an awesome job with this young squad, and I was hearing things about after wins, and he's not so tight knit on agendas or schedules and stuff. Not so business-like, kind of having fun, after a World Cup win, allowing the players to, go out and not get hammered or anything, but go out for a drink and then, just kind of stuff like that, and not so business-like. And especially with a young group like that, I think that's helped them not feel, I guess, the pressure. Of course, there is pressure, but not like other English teams. So
yeah, definitely. In their training session yesterday, they played a dodgeball for half their training session. So I think sneaking in ways like that definitely helps team chemistry and take pressure off.
I think it is, like you said, I think it is because of the youth. He's keeping it light, he's keeping it playful, not so trying to keep the pressure off the players so they can enjoy their time here. And they're little, and you can tell compared to the other English teams of the past 20 years or so, you can tell this team walks on the field, they got smiles on their face, they're joking around, they're having fun, they're loose. Where you saw in the past, you had all the big name stars and they were tight, they had the whole weight of the nation on their shoulders. Here maybe it's because they're young and they don't realize, like you said, David, maybe they don't realize they have the whole weight of the nation on their shoulders. Or it could be because they're, the training sessions and how he's treating the young players to keep them loose. It's a good tactic and it's working right now.
Yeah, I predict that they're going to feel it because I think that some part of the coaching staff is just getting more and more nervous as things are going on, and they'll finally just realize, they're like, oh my gosh, we can't screw it up. Whatever we do, don't screw it up. Something's working. Yeah, and I think it's finally going to get transmitted to the players. That's my guess. But not to make every single England fan in the world hate me. I apologize if that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Strongest of them all.
All right, so that about wraps it up for this podcast. Thanks everybody for joining us. Be sure to tune in to semifinal of France and Belgium tomorrow, and on Wednesday, Croatia, England. Be sure to watch out for those, and we'll put out another video day after. Give you guys a recap on those and our opinions on that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Also, like button. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter. Look out for all news about the World Cup and other transfer news out there as well, since it's summer transfer season. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
Ole, 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 ole.
Ciao.
Adios.
Later.